Let's get into the lore of the Bridget and Christopher Reloaded characters. For those of you who don't know, I am Jeremy. I am the creator of this independently made animated drama series, Bridget and Christopher Reloaded. And a quick note, the Reloaded is explained in my first video on this page when I'm welcoming you guys into who I am and what the show is about. So let's get to it. So Bridget and Christopher, the title, yes, Bridget and Christopher, they're the two main characters. But aside from Bridget and Christopher, we welcome their friends. Their friends being Erica, Ray, Tori, and Brandon. So let's first talk about Bridget. Bridget is in her mid-20s. She is a manager at a Target, and she is somebody who knows what she wants. Very aggressive, very strong-headed, and she knows what she wants out of a man. Her man being Christopher. Now, Christopher, before we get to him, because there's a part where I'll get to him more in depth, he dates Bridget, and in the beginning episode, their relationship's already teeter-tottering. Because Bridget, she's stubborn, she's, like I said, very strong-headed and aggressive, but she's also like a little insecure. She's afraid of losing someone close to her, she's afraid of losing her partner, and she's afraid of being alone. So next up we have Christopher. Christopher is somebody who on the surface, he dates Bridget. He's in his upper 20s, 26, 27, haven't decided an age yet. I'll get there, I promise. But he's definitely, he's not 30 for sure. None of the characters in the show are 30. But he goes to work. He does a lot of heavy lifting. He's a truck driver. He delivers packages. So he is always on his feet, working. And he just feels like he just wants a break. He is somebody who he works all day. He does take care of Bridget, but lately he feels like he's pouring more into Bridget than Bridget is pouring into him. So he's feeling a little off balance there. And unfortunately for Christopher, he doesn't really know how to communicate that very well. So on the surface, Christopher, he seems like your guy that you can fight for, like your underdog. Boy, do I have news for you. Christopher is arguably the most hypocritical, contradictory, self-serving character in this show. He's not a villain. I'm not going to sit here and say Christopher is a villain, but he definitely has a lot of flaws. He says he wants one thing, turns around and does another. He says, oh my God, woe is me. How is all of this happening to me? Knowing good and well he's the one who started the tomfoolery. He started the idiocy. He started the problem. But he won't acknowledge that. He won't acknowledge it. He likes to run away from his problems. But here's the thing, Christopher, let me take that back. He will acknowledge his problems. Christopher is a very self-aware character. He knows exactly what he's doing and what's going on, and he just doesn't like to admit it. Even though when all things are crumbling down and he has to face the music, he turns a blind eye. You know what I mean? He turns a blind eye to reality. So Christopher, he needs healing. Yeah, he's a problem. I would say he's the most problematic character in the show. Next up, we have Erica, and I will say Erica is my personal favorite character in the show. I love writing her. I love animating her. Shout out to my friend Leslie Rogers, who voices Erica. She does a damn good job with her character because she cracks me up. Erica is the shoulder you can lean on. Erica's the friend you can talk to. Erica's always has a listening ear. She's always kind of like the person everyone goes to for their problems. Whether it is something good or bad, Erica is always in the know and she always has to hear about it. She's always present. And she and Bridget are very close, but she's also very close to Christopher. And Bridget, because, they're friends, gal pals, Bridget doesn't really mind it. She's I trust her. She's my friend. I trust Christopher. He's my boyfriend. I can trust them, and they all know each other from high school. Well, throughout the show, it kind of gets a little... You know what I mean? When you look at Christopher and Erica, you might start going, that's not very normal.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
Erica dates Ray, and as you can tell by her attire, she is dressed from red from top to bottom. That's one of the motifs in this show is the red. She wears red, her sister Tori wears red, and no one knows why. That's one of the big things about this show. This mysterious red, like, okay, Erica's clearly in red from top to bottom. Hair red, shirt red, pant red, shoe red, she's in red. So you have to keep watching to figure out why they wear that red. Anyway, she wears this red, she dates Ray, and Ray and her, they're not like necessarily like toxic or abusive or whatever. They're just stale. They're very flat. Erica thought Ray was the one from high school, and then they started living together, and Erica's like, he doesn't have a job. He doesn't do anything. He just sits around all day. Like, pretty much a loser, And Erica's like, he funny though, and he cleans, but I don't know, he don't give, if you know what I mean. He doesn't give. But she's a very intelligent character. She's very emotionally intelligent. She's very savvy, and she's very sarcastic. Oh, and one thing about her, she is easily irritated. Like, she'll listen to your problems, but if your problems don't make sense, she'll let you know.
I'm sorry. Why do you feel like it's your place to give us a therapy session in the first place? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, enlighten me if I'm missing something, but last I checked, we refer to you as Jess Brandon, not Dr. Brandon, PhD in psychiatric relationship therapy.
But she is a very complex character because she is somebody who knows right from wrong, but she's always put in a situation where she has to make a very tough decision, and she doesn't know exactly how to do that. And that's one of the things that will help her grow as a character, is just knowing how to maneuver in these very tough situations. That's Erica. Let's move on to her boyfriend, or in the series as it progresses, her ex-boyfriend, Ray. Ray, tall, lean, dopey, doesn't really do much, no job, no ambition, no nothing, no drive. He dates Erica, loves her to death, would do anything for her. Ray is a very, very, very nice person. He's extremely nice. He has a big heart. He's a bit of a pushover. He's a bit of a pushover, but he means very well. And honestly, if I were to say that if there's any character in this show that is an underdog, it's Ray. People want better for him. I want better for him. And he kind of gets the short end of the stick half the time. Ray's not stupid, and he knows that he needs to get a job and get his stuff together, which he does. He eventually gets a job at Taco Bell in the second episode. He starts working at Taco Bell. Since he has nowhere else to go, he kind of like accepts it. So you kind of like look at me and go, dude, stand up, do better, leave. But he won't. But he won't. He's gonna stay, and he's gonna try to make it all make sense, even though none of it makes any sense. Tori. So Tori, fun fact about Tori, she is loosely based off of Lori Foreman from that 70s show. That's why she has the really crazy hair. Tori dressed in all red hair, red shirt, red shoes, red pants. She is the older sister of Erica, but they have a very good relationship. I will say Erica and Tori's relationship as sisters, they are really, really good sisters. They have a good relationship. They talk to each other about everything. Tori dates Brandon. And one thing about Tori is that she loves her man. Her man. Tori loves her man, Brandon. And she loves Brandon more than anything. If Brandon, let's say Tori's out and Brandon says, come home, Tori will be like, sorry y'all, my man said I gotta go home. And then she's gonna bolt it home. But here's the thing. Tori is very intelligent. A lot of people underestimate her intelligence just because she is a bit more, I won't say boy crazy because she only has eyes for Brandon, but she's a bit more Brandon crazy. And so people will underestimate her intelligence, but she's a very smart woman. You definitely see more of Tori as she evolves as a character throughout the series, throughout episodes 1 through 7. And I have a lot more that I plan to do with her from episodes 8 to 14. Like, Tori gets a very big, I'm so excited for the plans I have for Tori. Brandon. Let's talk about Brandon for a minute. He is the last character of the main cast of Bridget and Christopher. Brandon is a proud Latino American. He is Mexican American specifically, and he's a hard worker. He dates Tori. He spoils her to no end. He cares about her a lot, and he really does love that girl. Sometimes Brandon will admit that she's kind of annoying, but Brandon wouldn't trade it for the world. And he is someone who likes honesty, communication, and truth, and he will hold everybody accountable in his friend circle. He is really good friends with Christopher, but he hates Christopher's girlfriend, Bridget. When I say hate, I mean Brandon's like, I can't stand that bitch. Brandon really, he dates Tori, he owns a home, and the reason I made Brandon this way is because like when I was conceptualizing Bridget and Christopher and the concept of Brandon, I remember my friend Enrique from high school was like, can I be Brandon? And I was like, you know what? Hell yeah. And now he's Mexican. You know what I mean? Like I noticed in a lot of independent animation, we don't really see a lot of proper Latino representation. Now, I am not Latino, I am just Black American, but I don't know. I know there's like a push to like make independent animated stories that represents the people that don't feel they were very represented. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why Bridget and Christopher, the main two characters, they're Black characters. However, I realized like growing up in Gwinnett County, Georgia, the most diverse county in the state, born and raised, well, born in Atlanta, raised in Lawrenceville, I always felt like I saw a bit of everybody. Not like I felt. I know I saw a bit of everybody. My high school, everybody and their mama was in there. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Pacific Islander. Like everybody and their mama was in that school. So I wanted to like create a world that fairly represented that, but not to play onto any stereotypes. Like I want these characters to be normal characters. Like, yes, Brandon is Latino. However, Latinos can be nosy. Hence the term that I learned from a lot of my Hispanic folks, chismoso. I would say Brandon is chismoso. I would say so. He likes to gossip. He likes to talk, you know, but anybody of any color likes to talk. So I wanted his character to not be any kind of trope, stereotype. He is Mexican American, and there are situations where like his identity does come into play. But for the most part, he just works, he has his house, he loves his girlfriend, and he's just very nosy. He will stick his nose into other people's business. And sometimes, you know, you may think he's being a good friend, but for the most part, all the other characters find it freaking annoying. So yeah, that's it for the Bridget and Christopher characters. I hope I did a good job explaining them. Like they make so much sense to me in my head when I write them. And I'm like, damn, I hope someone who is seeing this for the very first time thinks that this makes any kind of sense. So if you stayed for the whole video, thank you, shout out. And if you stayed at this point, just go ahead and watch episodes 1 through 7 of Bridget and Christopher. Just go ahead, watch them, binge them. I have episodes 1 through 7, 15 to 29 minutes. So plenty for you to enjoy. But I will be making sure I upload weekly just to discuss the show, the progress we're in, because right now we are making episode 8 on top of other forms of content I'm making for the show. So stick with me as we build this, all right? Y'all are the best. Thank y'all.